Hey everybody, Legacy, please. Can you turn it down some? Y'all know how it is. I'm going live. I got kids in the house. It's almost time for bed though. But I just want to thank y'all for coming on. I'm excited about tonight because I am just like really looking forward to being able to help moms find themselves. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Tasha G, the Transformation Guide. And what I do is I help overwhelmed moms figure out where they're stuck by working through their emotional wellness, self-care, and mindset. At the end of the day, you have to really tune in with prioritizing what you need and what you feel is important to you in order to be better. And moms, it's time to wake up. So as you come in, I would like for you to share this with 3 people you know and come back in and comment shared for me. I'm just going to put here what we're talking about so people will know as they come in. And let me know where y'all are from. I know some people are from different places in America. It's nice when I get somebody that's international too, but I know how the time zones go. So I'm going to break down what wake up means for moms, and then I'm going to give y'all some other tips and valuable information that y'all can use for yourselves. Okay, hold on. Time to wake. There we go. If you're a mom and you feel like you need help with something when it comes to your emotional well-being, your mindset, or self-care, please let me know in the comments if you want to share, okay? Time to wake up. 3 tips. All right, and I got 3 valuable tips for y'all that are going to help you to wake up. So I'm getting ready to start this. Sorry, 3 tips for moms. I wish they would let you type all of this before you get on. That would just be so much more helpful. Because typing it and I start typing what I'm saying. Self-care and emotional. So share this with 3 moms when you're coming in, and then just type shared for me in the chat. I'm sorry, in the yes, in the chat, so I know that you did it. And let me pin this. All right. And I'm going to share this out with 3 moms as well, because I know it's so crazy. I've been talking to a lot of moms recently, and it's so unfortunate how many are burnt out and overwhelmed just from being a mom. And this is from like just doing daily activities. And the thing that I work to do is share how I got to this place of finding a balance. Now I'm going to tell you like this. I'm not perfect, all right? I have my days still where I get overwhelmed and exhausted and tired. But what I do appreciate is that I'm able to now communicate with my family and let them know how I'm feeling so they can give me the grace that I deserve. And I give myself the grace that I deserve, because I know I can be really hard on myself when I'm trying to get things done. And I'm working on treating myself the way that I treat other people, so therefore I can teach other people how to treat me. So with that being said, like I said, it's time to wake up. The W stands for what am I doing to make this better or worse? Okay, so I want you to think about that. Whatever you're going through in your life as a mom, and it seems like a lot of moms are emotionally drained and exhausted. What are you doing to make your situation better? And you can let me know in the comments. Something that you could do to make it better is actually admitting it. You know, it can be very difficult to admit that you're emotionally drained, because you're Superwoman, right? You're supposed to be able to do it all, and you're not supposed to need any help in the process. Let me bring this down a little bit. But at the end of the day, we're all human, and most of us are coming from like really, let me take my old lady glasses off. Y'all wasn't supposed to see this. I can't see no more, y'all. I'm 44 and I embrace it. So I had to get my old lady chain. But anyway, yeah, you have to embrace the fact that you do not have to have it all together. And a lot of us are coming from these emotionally draining backgrounds where we never get a break, right? You went from being exhausted as a child and trying to figure it out to now being exhausted as a parent trying to figure it out, and you're dealing with a partner that probably has traumatic things that they are trying to recover from, and you're trying to not traumatize your kids. So how is this supposed to work, right? Working on your mindset is not a quick fix, and you may feel worse before you feel better. If it wasn't so bad and it was so easy, trust me, you wouldn't be dealing with any generational trauma right now, okay? So I want you to keep that in mind. Our parents have gone through a lot. I'm born in the 70s. My mother was born in the 50s. My grandmother was born in the 30s. My great grandmother was born like in the 1900s, maybe the 1910s. And if you think about those times in life, especially as people of color, they were traumatized. And I come from this line of women, and the crazy part about it is nobody was doing any therapy back then. Nobody was looking for a way to help themselves. They just tried to cope the best way they could, and sometimes they did a good job and sometimes they didn't. So I can feel it on my heart and on my spirit that I am the generational curse breaker in my family. Yes, Legacy. You want to come in? My Legacy wants to say hi. This is my baby girl.
Hi.
Okay. Now you know it's time to get ready for bed, right? Okay. See you later.
Bye.
So it's super important. Like the old me, that would have just like threw me off and I'd have been like all over the place. But I just realized I manage my emotions and I'm in control of that. And that's part of me breaking that generational curse. Like I realized the importance of being nice to my children and treating them like people and letting them experience life instead of placing them in a place of fear where it's like, you don't listen to what I say, then things are never going to go right. That's traumatizing in itself, right? So I'm going to repeat the W over. The W is for what am I doing to make this better? What am I doing to make it worse? I'm going to get to that point too. So a lot of times you make your situation worse with your mindset. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Your mindset can be your prison or your paradise. It's totally up to you how it's going to be. And if you continue to put yourself in a situation of seeing the glass as half empty and things always are going wrong for you, that negative self-talk, it will hold you down. You have to understand that if you want something, go around the other way. If you want something different, you have to do something different, right? And in you doing this, it is going to take you to a place of uncomfortability. All right. You're going to have times that you're going to have to deal with things and you're just going to be like, I really don't want to go through this emotion right now. I don't like being sad. I don't like telling somebody when I'm unhappy, because it's difficult to express your emotions if you've been putting yourself in a place of emotional neglect, right? And that can be a trauma response. That can be a coping skill where you're just like, I just don't want to tell anybody how I feel because I feel like nobody cares. That comes from a place of abandonment and rejection, and a lot of times that starts with our parents or caregivers. If they don't seem like they want to be bothered with us, then we feel like that's how the whole world feels about us, right? The same way if somebody feels so loved by their family, they're going to feel like the whole world is going to love them. Same thing, okay? And like I said, working on your mindset is not a quick fix. You may feel worse before you feel better. And if it was so easy, then you wouldn't have any generational trauma. So please give yourself some grace as you are working through your emotional healing journey, okay? I had to give myself a lot of grace because I would beat myself up sometimes and say, why don't I have this done yet? Why don't I feel better yet? I've learned how to meditate. That should be enough. I work out now. That should be enough for my emotions. But it's not. Because I am literally unraveling decades of me feeling like I could not be myself, feeling like being emotional was weak. So it's going to take time before I can like feel some sense of balance and stability, right? And honestly, this is another story time, but the pandemic 2020 is what really set me off, and it really made me feel like I got to get it together, because the pandemic started in March. I didn't break down until like October and be like, oh my gosh, this is a lot. I think I'm a little scared. I was like running off of survival trauma mode, and that's when I knew something was wrong, right? All right, so now the A is for, am I okay? I want you to think about, are you really okay right now? And if you are unsure or like, I think I am, I want you to think about if you're okay with being in the same position emotionally and mentally as you are right now in 5 years. You need to answer that question to yourself, okay? It can be difficult to admit that you're not okay because you're going to want to defend yourself. You got yourself in a situation and you don't want to be thinking about how it's your fault that people aren't treating you right. It's your fault that you're unhappy. It's on other people, but it's partially on you because maybe you just haven't stood up for yourself. Maybe you just have not been honest with yourself to say, you know what, I realize now I'm unhappy And as I realize more and more that I'm unhappy, I'm starting to resent my family. And as a mom, I know I can relate to that, because we just give them so much. We're constantly giving, we're constantly pouring out, but then we don't feel like anybody is pouring back into us. So that will make you feel like, resentful. You'll be like, they don't even appreciate me the way that they should. Look at all the stuff that I'm doing. But that's on you for the people pleasing. All right. You don't want to manipulate people into doing what you want by being nice. That's not your role. That's not your responsibility. That's not your purpose on this earth. You don't have to lay down and be a people pleasing pushover and give everybody else what they want. So then in turn, they give you what you want, because obviously it's not working, right? You shouldn't have to be your children's chauffeur and drive them and their friends all around. But then when you ask them to do chores in the house, you get a lot of lip or you get disrespect. That's a problem. All right, so this is something I want you to think about. Covering wounds with trauma bonds and unhappiness. Covering your wounds, trauma bonds, and unhappiness with material things is not going to solve them. All right, you can keep taking trips and buying bags, and the guilt trips and emotional baggage will just keep piling up. I'm going to say that again for you. Covering wounds, meaning emotional wounds, trauma bonds, and unhappiness with material things is not going to solve things for you. All right. If you keep taking trips and buying bags, the guilt trips and emotional baggage will start to pile up. All right. I want you to think about how many times you put yourself in situations with people that don't deserve any of your time and energy. And then you start to think like, I've wasted money, I've wasted time, I've wasted energy, I've given of myself, and I'm still not happy because I don't feel seen or heard. That happens a lot with moms because we just are like so nervous about really putting ourselves out there. We don't want to seem weak, right? We don't want to seem like we're putting ourselves in situations where we need people, because if we need somebody, that means that they have a little bit of power over us, right? And if they have a little bit of power and control over us, that means that they can control our emotions and the way that we react. But I'm here to tell you that it does not have to be that way. It is your choice and your decision on how you handle and manage your emotions. You do not have to follow what somebody else is saying so you can get your way, or because you feel like they're going to protect you. You have to double check. You have to do an inventory on the people and situations that you put yourself in. You need to be in supportive, trusted circles so you can share your feelings, share your emotions, and let people know how you really feel. And I'm going to get into the mom maintenance community in a little bit, because this is a supportive space. I don't want to say trusted, because trust is relative. That's up to you to figure out. But this is a supportive space where you'll be able to get the help that you need so you can move forward in your life. Okay, so that was A. K. Know it's okay to not be okay, because life is lifing, all right? I ask moms all the time, how you doing? I'm okay. And they don't even think before they answer it. And so I've learned to become aware and stop and say, no, really, how you doing? And I'd say 9 times out of 10, I get a deep breath from them, and then they tell me what's really going on. Now, I get it. You don't want to do that with everybody, but these are people that I have built up a trust rapport with. So they trust to tell me what they're going through because they know I want to help them with the solution. And they also know that I genuinely care. I understand that a mom is a pivotal piece in a household. And if the mom is not okay, everybody else is not going to be okay. All right. I tell women, you are the thermometer in your house, right? So depending on where you at, that's the flow of the house. If you are rigid and cold and despondent, then the house is going to feel like it's in Antarctica. But if you are feeling good and you're in a great mood, then the house is going to feel like it's in Jamaica, because everybody feeds off of you. That's how important you are. With that being said, I want you to know that if you don't respect your own exhaustion and overwhelm, why do you think others will? Do you even know how to communicate how you feel, or do you people please to cover it up? That's something I want you to think about, because a lot of times, especially as women, we're just taught like, oh, be nice, just do what they say, and then that translates into other parts of our lives that it shouldn't. We let men take advantage of us, or romantic partners take advantage of us, because we're like, well, at least if I'm giving them what they want, they'll give me what I want. And we know that's not the case, right? Hence, people being in toxic relationships or being in situations where the communication is barely the communication is non-existent. Therefore, it puts you in an uncomfortable space where it's like, how did I even get here? Why are me and this person even sharing space and we don't even talk to each other? This is not even a friend. You know what I mean? All of this comes from not honoring your own emotions, your own overwhelm, your own exhaustion. You've got to do that because you're teaching people how to treat you. And that's something else that we work on in the mom maintenance community. And last but not least, I have the E for you, evolve. It's time for a change, and it's up to you to grow. Okay, you do not need anybody's permission to grow. I don't use the word change because change means that you're gonna like do something negative sometimes, right? Especially when it comes to like being in a space of emotional development and personal development. You are going to grow. Okay, you're going to grow. And with you growing, growth is you accepting who you are now and honoring yourself. So that way others can do the same. Because it's either they're going to agree with you or they're not. You don't have to convince nobody how dope you are. You don't have to convince anybody how worthy you are of time and attention. And you definitely don't have to convince anybody that you deserve peace in your life. All right? And I want to say this to you as well. People are doing what you allowed them to do all this time. So you being upset and wanting change is new for everyone, but the work is on you. All right. Your growth is on you. People are used to you allowing them to do whatever they want. People are used to asking you to do something last minute and you jump to do it. People are used to saying, oh, I know you got me, and you are paying the bill. People are used to you saying, oh, it's no problem, even if it is a problem for you, because they know they can count on you. And unfortunately, a lot of us women feel like we need to be the kind one, right? The nice one, the one that everybody says, wow, you go to her, she'll help you. You get exhausted, you get tired. It's just like your phone. Your phone has to be recharged, right? At least once a day. Sometimes mine's got to be recharged 3 times a day. But if you don't recharge your phone, what happens? You can't use it, right? It burns out. The battery goes dead. The phone ain't gonna say, well, you know what? I know I'm on 3%, but you want to stay outside for another 2 hours. All right, I'm gonna bump myself back up to 15%. It doesn't happen. So we need to keep that in mind for ourselves. Keep that in mind for yourself, especially as a mom. You are going in so many different directions because you have so many different roles and you have people relying on you. But you cannot allow other people to rely on you if you can't even rely on yourself. Okay? So I'm gonna read that again. People are doing what you allowed them to do all this time. So being upset and wanting change is new for everyone, but the work is on you. They're going to be upset. They're not used to this. This means change for them. They don't know where that leaves them. They don't know if this means that they are out of your life. They don't know if this means that if they ever need anything, they won't be able to get it. And that is okay. This means that you're going to be upset because you're going to see how much you allow people to take advantage of you. You're going to be like, holy crap, I had no idea that I let people just take so much from me. And now I'm realizing that I need to change because I don't like to drive so much. I don't like a lot of people in my house eating my food. I don't like to wait 3 hours to pick up somebody else's kid and take them home for no money. The power is in you. You cannot keep thinking that it's not, which brings me to the last tip in Wake Up. It is up to you to start the change. And with that being said, with it being up to you, I have 7 days to transform, which is a part of the mom maintenance community. So with 7 days to transform, it is a digital product that I created that is a self-guided workbook to help you finally face your fears and make room for you. So what does that mean? It means that in 7 days, you're going to be able to make time for yourself every day for the 7 days. Now, I know that can be scary, right? I don't have time. The kids got to go to school. I got to work. I got to do all this stuff. I already got commitments. I understand. But don't you deserve a chance to take 15 minutes for yourself every day, at least, to make sure that you're okay? To actually check in with yourself? The 7 Days to Transform digital product is a way for you to be able to start better habits for yourself. That's really what it's about. So in you starting these better habits, what you're going to start to do is ask yourself questions. The same way I just ran through Wake Up, you'll be able to ask yourself questions and say, wow, if I could change something in my life, hey, what would it be? I'm realizing now that I'm not happy with. How can I do that? So this is the way that it goes, right? 7 Days to Transform is a self-guided workbook. In the beginning, when you receive the book, I will set up a chance for us to be able to talk so you can ask questions, and I'll also explain the 7 Days to Transform process with you. Then when you have the self-guided workbook, it's up to you if you want to do it morning, noon, night. It's totally up to you. But every day you want to be able to complete the book. Some stuff is as simple as picking a podcast or an audio book to listen to so you can understand the importance of your emotional healing journey and prioritizing yourself. Then after the 7 days, we get back together so we can talk about your progress. And at that time, you have an option of either getting an emotional wellness plan where we'll be able to go through and help you set one big goal for yourself as well as the steps to get you there. Or you will also be invited to the Mom Maintenance Community, which is a 10-week program that I've started that is going to launch for everyone in the fall. But I have some special invited guests who are actually starting it on Friday. So if you receive one of those invitations and you accept it, you are special, okay? Because God gave me this idea and he told me the people to offer it to first. Oh, hey y'all, thank you. He told me the people to offer it to first, and I'm grateful for them being here because they're going to help me to grow this program. The women that I chose in the beginning were chosen because they trusted me with their lives, with whatever they've been going through. And they've also taken my suggestions and taken my advice and used it to break those chains and generational curses that they have been feeling. You're welcome. And it's been changing their lives because at the end of the day, I just want you to win. I just want you to be happy to be a mom. I want you to be happy to be yourself, right? We can't even get into being happy or being a mom if you're not even happy with who you are. All right? That is the main thing. And I dropped some gems. I know y'all had just came on, but I'm going to go back real quick and I'll read through things. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat. I'm more than welcome to go over them again for you because this wake-up call for moms is definitely needed. So the W is for what am I doing to make my situation better or worse? That is on you. It's not on anybody else. It's not on the people that you've been spoiling with your time and energy. It is literally on you to ask yourself that question. What are you doing right now to make your situation better? If you can't answer that, then you got to go to the other question. What am I doing to make my situation worse? And a lot of times it's because moms are stuck, right? We're stuck in, I don't have time for that. I don't have time to focus on me. We feel guilty after we do something for ourselves. I want you to put a 2 in the chat if you have felt guilty because you went to the gym and then you came back. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I just spent time for myself, but I didn't do this and I didn't do that, and now the kids are off schedule. You feel bad, right? I used to do that all the time, but now when I think back, I realize that I used to be upset about going to the gym because it was something for me and I didn't feel like I deserved it. And this was like 2 years ago. But last year, I got my butt in the gym because I had so much extra energy. I had to get rid of it, and I did not want to go to jail. So I said, let me do something to get this energy out. And now I'm 30 pounds lighter. I am more toned and fit, and I am loving this new me. All right. And I want you to think about this when I ask you, what are you doing to make your situation better or worse? Working on your mindset is not a quick fix. You may feel worse before you feel better when you work on it. If it was so easy, then we wouldn't have any generational trauma. I want you to think about that, all right? If you're hearing this and you're receiving this information, it's because you probably are the generational curse breaker in your family. You probably are known as the black sheep. Phew, I'm so grateful that phase has passed. Yes, it was such a difficult time for me. Girl, yes. You know, it's so crazy that we'll do this, and this is how we keep the generational cycles going that don't serve us, because it's literally a habit. A habit starts, and then we teach the habit, and that becomes a cycle. And then it's either going to be positive or negative, and our children deserve better, but we deserve better first so we can teach them better, right? So I just want you to think about that. Your mindset is your prison or your paradise. It's up to you what you choose. And that's the main thing I want you to understand. You still have a choice in life, regardless of how many children you have, regardless of you having a romantic partner, regardless of you being a big sister or a caregiver. You always have a choice in life. And please don't choose suffering. All right. Suffering is a choice. Complaining is a choice. You do not have to choose that. You can literally choose yourself. It is such a heavy, unnecessary load to carry. Yes, it is. And that's why I've been working and creating things like 7 Days to Transform, because I'm like, you know, some people out there, they really need a wake-up call. And when you need a wake-up call, it has to come in its own way for you. So I'm coming out with dozens of different ways to be able to say the same thing so you can get it. You deserve peace. You deserve to not be overwhelmed. You deserve to not be in survival mode anymore. You should be thriving and enjoying your family. And they should be enjoying you. But they can't enjoy you if you don't know who you are. They're going to be like, oh, but who this woman? Right? All right, let me get to the A. Am I okay with being this way and in the same position in 5 years? That's a question I want you to think about and answer for yourself. If you cannot say yes to this question, that means you got work to do. And it's nothing wrong with elevating yourself. It's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, I do want to be better for myself. Our community needs this. Yes, definitely. And I'm just so excited because I had to put a lot in to get to this point, and I'm just like, I'm just ready to go. I'm like really, really excited about this. So with me saying that, I want you to think about this. Covering emotional wounds and trauma bonds and unhappiness with material things is not going to solve them. All right? You keep taking trips and buying bags, and the guilt trips and emotional baggage will keep piling up instead. All right? That's a read, that's a word, that's a gem. Stop trying to replace the work you need to do and instead get something to cover it and mask it up. You're doing yourself a disservice. When you can finally say, you know what, I'm not going to let my past win. I'm not going to allow people who treated me bad to win because I know I deserve better. I'm going to actually open myself up to love, and it's going to start with me loving myself. You open up a whole nother world. And I'm going to tell you, when you open up this whole other world, you're going to be embarrassed, shocked, and ashamed by the stuff you done let happen to you. And it's okay, because that's an emotion you need to process. You need to see what it feels like when you treat yourself like crap. You need to see what it feels like when you discredit yourself. You need to see what it feels like when somebody does you wrong and they step on that boundary and you're like, I don't like that. You can speak it out, because what's going to happen is you're going to teach your family how to do the same. And then they're going to teach their family how to do the same. And it's an amazing feeling. Yes, that's a word, right? Hey, thank you for coming in. All right, now the K. No, it's okay to not be okay, because life be lifing. Like, that was something I had to just accept. Like, if somebody says, hey, how you doing? I have to be like, oh, I'm okay. You know, because I don't have to, first of all, I don't have to tell nobody anything. It's up to me. But I don't have to embrace this role of perfectionism, because that's not what it means to be a human being. That's not what it means to be a Black woman. And that's not what it means to be a Black mother. All right. A lot of times I am okay, but there are some times that something that happened to me years ago can like sit on my heart, and I need a moment. There are some times that I'm so proud of the family that I built, because I know what I came from, that I want to shed a tear. And I have to be okay with all of my emotions and let them process, because as I let them process, I can say to myself, wow, that's what it feels like to be excited. That's what it feels like to be proud of myself. Dang, that's what it feels like to really love my husband. That's what it feels like to really love my kids. You know, the best thing you can do for yourself as you're on your emotional healing journey and you're prioritizing yourself is processing your emotions and actually feeling them. Like, take that time. It's an amazing feeling. Okay, where I'm at. Yes, so I want to say this with the no, it's okay to not be okay, because life be life, and this is another gem. If you don't respect your own exhaustion and overwhelm, why should others? Do you even know how to communicate how you feel, or do you use people pleasing to cover it up? That's for those people that always say they're all right, and then they always want to do stuff for everybody. You going to bed? Yo, can I have some loving? See you in the morning, okay? Those people who want to constantly cover stuff up and not show who they really are, they get upset with other people when they don't respect and honor their overwhelming exhaustion. But how can I know that's what you're feeling if you don't even know that's what you're feeling? You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to be honest with ourselves. Go ahead. And I saw something about people pleasing the other day, and when I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so true. When you people please, you are working to hold up a wall so people will not get to know who you really are. And if you think about it, the people who are always readily available, always volunteering, always doing stuff for people do feel like, wow, yeah, they're so cool, they're so nice. And you kind of disassociate them being an actual person, and you don't really empathize with them. You just use them for the service, you use them for the resource, you use them for the time, you use them for whatever it is that you need, and you move on. But you don't think to really check on that person. And I remember being that person. And shout out to Culture Beats Collection, because she's actually on here. I remember her one time saying to me, like, are you okay? What are you doing for you? Like, you're doing all of this to help all of these people, but what are you doing for you? And that was like the jolt that I needed. And that was almost 2 years ago that she said that. And when she said that, I was like, I don't do anything for myself. Like, every time I do something for myself, I feel bad. But why do I feel bad? Because I don't feel like I deserve it, because I haven't done enough yet. But who's to say what enough is? Enough is relative. I'm alive. That should be enough. That should be enough for me to say I'm going to go for a massage. You're alive. It should be enough for you to say you want to get your nails done, or you want to go on a trip, or you just want to go and eat by yourself and not share anything. You know what I mean? It makes such a difference. All right. And last but not least, E for evolve. It is time for change, but it's up to you to grow, okay? People are doing what you've always allowed them to do all this time. So being upset and wanting change is new for everyone that's in your life, but the work is on you. And like I said before, I use the word change and I use the word grow, but it's really about growth, because change sometimes can be taken negatively, but it's about you growing into who you are. And when you grow into who you are, you're accepting yourself, flaws and all, which allows you to love other people. And as you love other people, as you love other people and you figure out who you are, then you can find your purpose. And that's what God wanted me to do. God was like, I'm going to need you to love yourself to the point of where you thought you were back in the day. When you was having the nails done and the hair done and wearing the nice clothes and everybody thought so much of you, I'm going to need you to really be that. Because whether you have on a paper bag or you have on $1,000 dress, I'm going to need you to have that same feeling about yourself, that you're untouchable and you're unstoppable, because you are. Survived 100% of the things that you've gone through for a reason. That was the word that I got. And in doing that, I was able to say, you know what? I want to be able to give other women this time, because the amount of time it took me to get here, I'm literally like folding it in half so you can go straight through instead of having to take the long way, if that makes sense. So, last but not least is the up. It is up to you to make the decision on when you're going to prioritize yourself. And with that being said, I mentioned my 7 Days to Transform digital workbook. It's a self-guided workbook that I created because I realized, like, moms are so busy. We will continuously give excuses unless somebody literally stops and shakes us by the shoulders and say, girl, I need you to do this, right? So with 7 Days to Transform, here's what you get. It is a self-guided workbook, so it will come to you in an email. So it's a digital copy. And the good thing about it is you can use it more than the one time that we will use it, because 7 days today is going to be different from 7 days next month. So you'll actually get to see your growth. And when you first receive the book, you'll be able to have a session with me where we'll be able to go through it virtually. You can ask any questions that you have, but I'll let you also know the expectations and basically how to go through the system. Then after that, you will have 7 days of activities. They're not hard, all right? It's not homework. You don't have to write a dissertation. You don't have to do too much, but it's for you. So I want you to keep that in mind, because you're very important and you're very special. So should be nothing for you to do for yourself, all right? It should be really, really simple to implement stuff, because I have things in there as simple as listening to an ebook or a podcast. So this is something you can do if you're working out. This is something you can do when you're riding in your car, if you're taking a walk, if you're sitting down working. So I thought of all the things, all the excuses that you will have, and I've X'd those out, okay? Then after you do the 7 days, we'll be able to meet afterwards to talk about how the situation was for you. You know, what did you learn? How did you grow? What do you realize you need to work on? All of that stuff. I want to give you the attention that you give to others, because I realize the importance of being seen and heard. And then after we do that, you have an option of either joining the mom maintenance community if it is open, or you can get on the wait list. And that is a 10-week program where we will have activities very similar to 7 days to transform, but it is like, it's amazing because there's going to be so many times that I'll be able to connect with you. We'll be texting, we'll have virtual meetups, we'll be able to do a lot of things. And being able to do so, you'll also create an emotional wellness plan. And I will offer that from time to time too, but being inside of the mom maintenance community, you get everything. All right, so you'll get the 7 days to transform. You'll get 21 days to challenge your rage, which helps you like process emotions and be able to become more emotionally aware for yourself. You'll also get community time with me, where we'll be able to like just meet up and do some trivia nights and stuff like that. You'll also get text messages from me. Like, it's a lot, but the 10 weeks is so you can really build like the habits that you need, the consistency, the discipline, and just work to get rid of that old negative mindset and that negative self-talk. Now, it's still going to be there. I'm going to tell you that it's still going to be there. But the point is, it should not run your life, all right? So with that being said, thank y'all so much for tuning in. If you're interested in 7 Days to Transform, I dropped it last week. There are a few more of the digital books left, because I said I was going to do a select amount, because I am meeting with people to discuss the book. So I respect my own time and energy, but it is available on my site. And let me put my site here for y'all. It's TarshaG.com. Did I put .com? Oh, I spelled my name wrong. Yes, TarshaG.com/shop. You can pick up your copy today. And then as you purchase your copy, you'll get an email from me to be able to set up a time for us to be able to talk. I'm very excited about what I'm doing because, like I said, I understand the importance of helping moms to get out of that survival mode, because we be in mom mode all the time, right? We keep making others matter. And it's time for us to break out of that. And in the mom maintenance community, that's what we're doing. We're going from being in that mom mode to the mother era. And the mother era is making you valuable again. And it's by doing things like this, being able to have conversations about waking up, being able to have conversations about why you think you should continue to press pause and not make yourself a priority. And more importantly, having conversations about the future. What is next in life? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? How can you get there? Thank you, Sauda. If you're on my email list, you already got some of the information, because my email list got it last week. If you're not, please be on it. May God spread your efforts worldwide. I mean, oh, thank you. I appreciate it. And hopefully we can go live soon. I got some things that I'm working on, and I'm gonna need y'all moms to like really come through and just talk about the way that you've been working through life and prioritizing yourself. Because one thing I know in my purpose is that this is not about me. You know, I realize the importance of community, and I realize the importance of moms hearing from other moms that look like them, or have the same amount of kids, or live in the same area, or are the same age. And all of that makes such a big difference for you to be able to actually empathize and sympathize with people. And as we get to the point of being able to fully understand, like, I see how she got there, but I see how she can get out of it. You know, that makes all the difference. And I'm just so excited, because I even got confirmation right before I got on this live about what I needed to talk about. And I was texting somebody. Yes, we'll get it together. I was texting somebody about her issues, and as I was like reading her stuff and like getting my responses together, I was just like, this woman is actually trusting me with her life. You know what I mean? She's trusting me to say, like, before I make a drastic decision that could be negative, let me check with Tarsha and tell her what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling, so that way I can make sure I'm communicating in the best way possible. Because that's the key. You want to be able to communicate to the point where whatever it is that you're saying, whether it ends negative or positive for you, okay, great. You want to be able to say, I know I communicated my best. I know I said what I needed to say. I don't have any doubt in my mind that whatever the outcome is, it's the best possible outcome for all involved. If it's meant for me to
have a separation right now in marriage, I'm okay with that. If it's meant for me to go no contact with my mother right now, I'm okay with that. If it's meant for me to tell my sister, to set some boundaries with her, I'm okay with that. If it's okay for me to let my brother know that me and his wife don't really get along, I love him, but I need some space from her, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with telling my boss at my job that I cannot do anymore because my family needs me. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with telling my job that I need some time for me because mentally I need a break. I can come in and do the job, but I can't do no more. And I'm okay with that. It's okay to take a sick day and stop banking them like you want to have it when you cash out from retirement. You got to be okay with that. I got to head out, but thank you for this. You always make my heart warm. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, so like I said, 7 days to transform. It's available in my shop. Oh, I forgot to pin that. Let me pin that real quick. If anybody has any questions or comments, please feel free to share them. I'll be on here for like 30 seconds more, but I myself am ready to lay down and get ready for tomorrow. And I want to see my husband for a little bit before he goes to bed, because we both are working hard. And I just appreciate y'all so much for coming on and still being with me as I have been working to find myself. I know that I'm in the right direction now, and I appreciate moms out there who are seeing the importance of what I'm doing. Please share this with other moms in your life that you know are like in that depressed state, but she's still functioning, and you can just feel from her energy that she's not happy and she needs some sort of outlet to help her figure out what she's doing. 7 days to transform is about the same amount of money that somebody would spend on lunch every day for the 7 days. And who wouldn't want to be able to get out of a funk just by being able to have some direction in where they want to go? Hey, so with that being said, y'all have a good night. I'm gonna put this replay up. Make sure you share it out with other moms who need to hear it, and I'll be going live again soon this week. Talk to y'all later.